welcome back to the Field of Streams, where I, your host, Janeen McCrae, read a short piece of my writing to you so that you don't have to. Today, I'm going to read to you the first of a series I'm calling The Summer of Song Dispatches. What's the Summer of Song? Well, stick around after the reading to not only hear the inspiration behind this piece, but also for a Summer of Song explainer. But let's get to the reading. This piece is called Tempting Fate on the Interstate. Melodic mayhem, intrusive thought, destructive doer of the dumb. What's that you say? In the coffined air of a midnight stillness, your static sucks to clear. The channel is open. Yes, I hear you, receiving your OTR transmission. The siren's call comes, flashing as a gas-powered firefly engaged in my private nighttime. Ah, what bliss your melody! Your majors and minors fill my tank from well below empty to above, then half, then full. An improbable refuel to a raw and ignored soul. To hear this impulse chorus and twitch the pelvis and muscle and heart to the dance of it, what joy, what luck, what truth! I am tuning in to the real message, the perceived order, the universal directive. I am receiving it fully and loudly. I will obey it in every dimension. I will obey it in this one, on the one. With hope grasping at my throat, I accept the darkest swing of your metronomic swagger. Your blade pierces the dullest cell, scattering me to bright action. It is what must be done. I hear you, and I will. Casting to the wind, to the sky, to the darkness, to the road ahead and beside and beneath, obeying this and only this, the momentum of misery finds its spark in the shoulder. Tick, tock, tick, together we must go. To surge, to spring, to stride the bright paint of the interstate. Oh, my heart must tell me when. I go. Now. Flushed and drunk on giddy guides, I go. Consciousness blinks limbs to action, red to green, dead to alive, shallow to deep. I go! Heels filled with heat, sensing the thumping engagement of pure mechanical flesh and bone and hair and skin. This is function at its most basic, driven by need, by urge. Ignoring the alarms of a panicked and parental atmosphere, surging toward the answer to a question I dare not ask. This life, this earth, here I am alive, embracing the knife edge of it with arms and legs and chest, prepared to bleed out a joyful, relieved yes into the tapestry of it all. Adrenaline sings out to the hall of the world, to the rafters, to the roof, to the sky. Against the cloth backdrop of a dark world, I am a pinprick of light, a celestial orb, caught by the naked eye of my one true observer. The Milky Way stirs me into soup, and here the flecks of my sin rub shoulders with the salt of my good. Here I am a star, I am a planet, I am a galaxy and a universe. Defiance drapes its cloak upon my shoulders and crowns me as its king. Arise. I am not in the moment. I am the moment. There are fate lines to cross here. I cross them. 1, 2, 3. I dance upon these lifelines, flashing proof at you from out the buttons of my existence coat. The world is solid. The world is hard. It is made of rock and life and unjust, long agonies. I am crushed into multicoloured soils. I am thrown from tall cliffs into vacant space. I am dashed against rocks made angry by this sea. The wind picks me up and hurls me toward translucence daily. am a not seen and never been, but for this brief witness testimony, I am pure reality. Wake up. No meaning, no plan, no goal beyond the goal. Just what we must do to feel alive, to make it to the other sides. Taillights fade, and upon me again a stillness descends to be shouldered once more. By me. We are home when we are most alone. And there you have it, Summer of Song Dispatch number 1. Let's talk about the story behind the story you just heard. As of this recording, I am on a road trip called the Summer of Song. The reason I'm on this road trip is part of a bigger project plan that I have. But for now, I'll just say that in a nutshell, the Summer of Song is basically me towing a 16-foot trailer around parts of the USA, working as I go in this new mobile office, but all the while taking time out to explore specific musical destinations I've mapped out, listening to music and exploring the art of songwriting and general music making. That's the 50,000-foot view. Now, by way of setting up Tempting Fate on the Interstate, the piece you just heard, the Summer of Song is including a component where I'm writing pieces inspired by things I see or experience along the way. They don't have to be song-related. Just exciting things, mundane things, unusual things, things. This'll make sense in a minute. The process for finding inspiration for them is simple. As I move about in this world on this trip, I capture notes on the interesting things. Well, interesting to me. Consider me a collector of sorts, like a bowerbird snatching shiny things to put in my library of things, except these things are word fragments and idea flashes. I'm saying the word things a lot. Nuggets and noodles, let's call them that. Little snippets or phrases that pop into my head and I think might inspire something down the road for me to write or make. This piece of writing came about because of one such nugget, a voice note that I took on day 2 of the trip about an incident that occurred on day 1. And now I'm going to tell you about it. The first day of the Summer Song was a long drive day. I left Santa Cruz on a Saturday and I planned to stop just outside Vegas on some BLM land and camp overnight. But as I got closer to that first camp opportunity, near sunset I think it was, I decided to push on for an extra 2 hours to a Walmart parking lot in Cedar City. If you weren't aware, some Walmarts let van lifers and RVs camp overnight, as long as you're gone by the morning. And so, decision made, I pushed on into the darkness of a Nevada night. Now, I'm not sure what time this occurred, maybe 9 p.m? I was still in Nevada, but it was dark now. There was a moon, but it's nighttime. It's dark. Now, driving in Nevada during the day is bad enough. Sorry, Nevada. Long straights of desolation and flatness, and it's often exceedingly windy. But I'd never done any nighttime driving in Nevada, so while the darkness made it seem less desolate, you literally couldn't see anything, it also made it seem more empty, in a way. It's just you, the darkness, and this tunnel of a road, and your headlight on it. The interstate in question, of the Tempting Fate on the Interstate, is I-15. It's mostly flat out there, flat and straight. But for the part where this incident happened, there was a long, slow rise for what must pass for a small up and over in the desert. I don't know, it was dark. Just imagine you're going up a rise in the darkness. Although the speed limit out there is 70, I was going 65 because that feels like a safe towing speed for me. And in this moment, I'm focused on the road in front, because it's late and I just want to get to this place, and I'm in that Nevada headspace, my tunnel of light, the red taillight dots of a semi far, far ahead, just in the zone. Now I'm going to use the word jump scare, because out of nowhere, a man bolted from one side of the interstate and straight across 2 lanes in front of me and to the other side, from out of the darkness into the light of my headlights and back into the darkness. just ran, dressed head to toe in dark clothing, hoodie up, no flesh visible. So it was just like this shadow running across in front of me. I mean, it was obviously a man, but, it scared the absolute shit out of me. I've described it too slowly here, and too non-reactively, because it was startling, surprising, a WTF moment in the blink of a star. It felt like he barely made it out of the lane I was in and into the next one. That's how close it felt. And in that moment of microseconds after the moment, two things happened. I did bobble the steering wheel a bit in that startled jump scare way. The trailer sway bobbled the truck, and in the side mirror I saw the scamp cry out and calm down quickly. The second thing that happened was my brain tapped into my mouth and used it to yell out loud into the void of my 2017 Tacoma, "F me!" And then, what the f was that? What the f? A lot of F-bomb related content, basically. I don't know who I was talking to. I was just trying to calm myself down, I guess, to speak sense into this moment, into what had just happened. It was just so unexpected, so unbelievable, so surreal. For miles after, thoughts flooded in. I was going 65 miles per hour with no chance to brake. I would have killed that lunatic, for sure. And I probably would have died myself. I thought about that too. These are not good thoughts to have in the darkness. The next day, while driving, I kept thinking back on it. It seemed so unreal that I had the thought, did that really happen? Did I dream it? This spectre in the night, this shadow streaking? I didn't. It definitely happened. But, when you start doubting yourself because of something being so out there. I told a couple of people about it, and my dad asked a pretty reasonable question, I think, probably. Do you think he did it on a dare? Dad wasn't the only one who asked me that, and I actually, until he asked, hadn't really thought of it like that. I think I was too stuck in the unreality of it and thinking about how I nearly killed a man on the interstate, which is an exaggeration. I don't know. I also think I maybe didn't think of it because I've encountered people walking in total darkness in California. Just walking beside the road in the dead of night, again in full dark clothing, near Mendocino and Eureka. And you think to yourself, what are they doing out there? And then you don't want to know. There's deer hour, and in some areas, I guess there's people hour. And if you're wondering where, I would estimate it was somewhere between 10 to 15 miles out of Mesquite, Nevada. I don't know why it was important to note that, but I did note it. Wherever, whatever. Here's the thing. I will never know why that guy did that. But the did he do it on a dare question got me to thinking about people who seem to enjoy pushing at the edges of death, doing risky things, risky business. So I started thinking about what would drive that person to do it. And a line popped into my head. I told Siri to take a note while I was driving. I said, chancing fate on the interstate. And that, folks, is how this piece of writing was born. When I sat down to write it, I changed chancing to tempting. That's the first edit. And then I decided I was going to write it from his point of view, about what his motivations might be and how doing shit like that makes him feel. I mean, I'm projecting, obviously, but he just wants to be seen. And to do something as drastic as that, to tempt fate in what could be a death-delivering event, is to be seen by at least one person, and that person was me in this case, driving the car. All he wants to do is be registered in the ledger of someone's memory. To be clear, what I meant by projecting is I'm just making this shit up. I don't know what he was thinking. Only he knows what he was thinking. It's fictional. I mean, you get it. Let's not belabor the point. That's it. That's a story. Now, beyond what I've read to you today, I have also been fiddling with the exercise of attempting to turn the tale into some kind of song, because this is, after all, the summer of song. I'm still playing with it. It's not necessarily the exact story, because that story is quite dark, obviously. But One of the things I've been thinking is that it would probably be quite a good conversation type lyrical piece between the guy that's running across and the driver. And I thought about building around that phrase that's in the first line, "What's that you say?" I don't know, it's just a thought. I'm just playing with words. That'll probably never turn into anything, but we did get something out of it, and I read it to you today, and I hope you enjoyed it. The Summer of Song is all about collecting materials for an eventual bigger project, and as I'm examining songs and writing my stupid stuff, I'm currently reading the book How to Write One Song by Jeff Tweedy of Wilco fame, if you're unfamiliar. There are a couple of exercises in there about playing with words and phrases, just snippets, and jotting down the interesting ones and trying to jam them all together. That's kind of what I'm doing, collecting phrases and trying to see what fits together. Okay, I'm rambling now, you get the point. Consider this a joyful warning if you enjoy this podcast. There are currently 5 post-its stuck to my scamp fridge door of potential phrases that maybe I'll try jam together. So that's at least 4 more dispatches in the pipeline, not including this one, because that post-it note is now done. That's something to look forward to, right? She said, hopefully. It's been a while since I posted anything. Perhaps you noticed, perhaps you didn't. Either way, more stuff incoming over the next month or so as the Summer of Song continues. You can follow that journey so far on my Instagram. My handle, do people still say handle? Is @thenoodleator. That's the noodle, ATOR. One word. Okay, wrap it up, Janeen. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it on your socials or text the link to a friend. Or if you want to just keep it between you and me, there's a button on the written version of this piece that you can press that says, "Share your thoughts about this episode." I think that's what it says. I would love to receive an email. I might even respond. You can go read that on jumpinthestream.com. And you can also, at that link, find additional things that are loosely related, very loosely. But until next we meet on this road of life, running across multiple lanes of danger, love what you love, and I'll see you out there making stuff. It's good to be back!